starting these verbal altercations?
He will just disrespect me, and then I will go back at him.
She verbally abuses us.
You're raising children who are going to have to recover from their childhood. You're suing because you said she used $1,500 to get breast augmentation.
I get in touch with her family. They're like, she's probably in surgery right now. Surgery for what?
Well, sir, are you or are you not using the product that she purchased?
I actually just married an empty alcoholic.
And you rushed in it because you were looking for a Band-Aid. Here is today's case.
She says she can't depend on her fiancé financially, and he often quits jobs, leaving her picking up the slack. He is concerned about her explosive temper and lack of communication. Can this couple get back on track? That's today's case on Divorce Court.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, our virtual audience is filled with your superfans. Today's superfan of the day is Lisa from Collinsville, Illinois.
We are so happy to have you with us here today, Lisa. As our special guest, I'm sending you an autographed copy of my book, Sis, Don't Settle.
Your Honor, this is the case of Crowe versus Jones.
Thank you, Juan. Miss Darielle Crowe?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought Mr. Yourick Jones?
Yes, Your Honor.
To divorce court today. I understand the two of you are not married, but you've been together for 4 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've been talking about marriage, but you have a number of issues you say you need to resolve before making a decision.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're hesitant. You think the relationship can work.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll start with you, ma'am. Why don't you give me some background?
Well, Your Honor, I'm here today because I am sick. Sick and tired of my ungrateful, unappreciated fiance. We've been together for 4 years, but he is financially unstable. He doesn't want to help me around the house, and he's cruel and insensitive. And I'm hoping that you can help me get him right so he doesn't get left and I send him back to the streets.
Mr. Jones, what do you have to say about that? She said she's threatening to send you back to the streets, sir.
Your Honor, I'm a good man. She's insecure, she's angry, she's controlling. She doesn't give me any sex. And that's a problem for me, Your Honor. And basically what she said is, I'm cruel, but you know, it's nothing more cruel than not getting any.
Okay, so the two of you have a lot going on, I see. It's been 4 years. How did you meet?
Well, originally we met because I was dating someone previously from where he is from. He's from a little place in Louisiana.
What's the name of that town?
Ville Platte, Your Honor.
Ville Platte, yes, very familiar.
Well, that relationship ended, and months down the line, he moved to Houston, where I live.
You started dating, you moved in together, and this is where things really took a turn for the worse, according to you, because you said even though his profile photo was him at work, he really didn't want to work.
Man, it was like got him, you know, like he fooled me. He really fooled me the first 3 years, you know, honestly. Like but I guess because we weren't living together. Because once he moved in, I thought I found my Prince Charming, you know, like he'll help when he's working, he'll help with the bills. He don't mind helping with the bills because he feels responsible. But he'll quit a job whenever he feels like it, you know? He had a job. He kept it for about 3 months. After 3 months, he just up and quit. Like, no explanation. They got me messed up one day. So the one day they try to make you work for real, now they got you messed up, you know? That's crazy. So he quit, but turns out he overheard a conversation with me and my grandmother, and I made the comment that I wanted someone to help me pay bills. I didn't want to do all the wifely duties like the cooking and the cleaning and the, you know, sex on demand, you know, and he took that as I just wanted him for his money. So that's why he quit the job, to basically as a tactic to see if I was gonna be loyal and hold him down while he wasn't working, while he's in the house.
You really think that's why he quit?
Yes, it was.
Is that true?
Yes, I'm not scared to admit it was a test.
So you thought she was with you for your money?
Your wifely duties, you don't want a good man. What you want is some financial help. And I'm not, you know, I'm the kind of person, I'm ready to ride and die.
So you quit your job.
Right.
Your source of income.
Right.
What you do to derive money for yourself.
Right.
To prove a point to her that you weren't going to be a sugar daddy.
I wasn't gonna be in her life, period. It was more than a sugar daddy
But
situation.
how does that help your life?
Cause I'm living with her now, right? So everything goes straight to her. I gotta drive her car, you know? I gotta wear what she tells me to wear.
She's picking out your clothes?
She's picking out my clothes. I gotta go where she tells me to go. I gotta eat what she tells me to eat.
So, Mr. Jones, wouldn't it be more beneficial in that scenario to keep your job and just move somewhere else? Ms. Crowe, are you picking out his wardrobe?
Yes. He don't care how he look. You not finna be with me looking any kind of way. You know, like he said, when he got with me, he swore he loved me because I was so beautiful and, you know, oh, I'm fly, woo do wop bop be. You know, okay, I'm fly, but you think you gonna be standing by me looking raggedy? No, you know, because when we went shopping, he picked you should have saw the shirts he brought to me when we were coming on the court. You hear me?
I'm sure it wasn't that bad.
Every shirt was a no.
Okay, Ms. Crowe, you said that he actually got another job and the two of you started to work out because he was making good money, he was working good hours, but then something else happened.
After he quit that job, he was jobless for about 4 or 5 months, and he got another job, and he kept that job he was happy with the job. They gave him the hours he wanted, they paid like he wanted, and he kept it for about 3 to 4 months, and then they started shortening his hours, not drastically, you know, just like 1 day less a week than you would normally get. So when he comes home, he busts in the door. That man said, I ain't gotta go to work and you can't make me.
You're going to work every day. He's playing video games. Who is he playing the video games with? Just by himself?
So he plays with these kids.
How old are these kids?
These are kids, children. You hear me? He talking about leaving me to go to the boy house and play his game.
Oh, no.
At his mama house. So I knew right then and there he wasn't going to work the next day. So he didn't go to work the next day. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he didn't go to work. But then Monday come around, he ain't go back. Tuesday come around, he ain't go back. Wednesday, and they tell him, well, until you bring a doctor's note for those 3 days you decided not to come to work, you can't come back to work. So now he's jobless, and he's been jobless for the last 2, 3 months.
There are 3 days that she said that next week, that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that you decide not to go to work. What happened on those 3 days?
They not giving me no hours.
But it was the only job you had at the time.
Yeah.
So you quit, and you've been looking since then?
Nope.
No.
You haven't been looking?
Nope.
What have you been doing?
Once or
Playing
twice,
the game, playing the video games.
So you have that kind of money saved up to where you don't need to work for 2 months?
No.
Because I'm gonna do it. He plays video games all day, every day. I go to work, come home, he's still on the game.
What do you do for a living?
I am a nurse assistant.
What do you want to do?
I want to go to school for nursing. I want to get my RN. I really just want to be a young entrepreneur, but I want some type of backup plan, basically.
So you're going to work every day for the last 2 months. He's playing video games. Who is he playing the video games with? Just by himself?
He plays online, you know, like so he plays with these kids, and I already tell him, like, because it's one thing that you're not working, you hear me, but my thing is, when I'm not working, when I'm not at work, spend some time with me. You know, you just want to you already playing it the whole time I'm at work, but then when I get home, you own it, you know?
How old are these kids?
These are kids, children, you hear me? 12, 11, 15, like, and he acts like I'm wrong, because, okay, like, we're out here. One of the kids live in Atlanta, Georgia. So they found out we were coming out here for court. He talking about leaving me to go to the boy house and play his game.
Oh, no.
With his mom, at his mama house.
Did you call his parents and ask for their permission for you to come over?
I would do that.
But that's what
play
I
video games?
Yeah, I would. Like, honestly, I would.
If I don't want a jobless man stinking up my couch, I'm sure his mama don't want a jobless man stinking up hers.
Who's your witness today?
Her grandmother.
Her grandmother's your witness?
She needs to draw back on some of the nagging, and this is maybe some of the reasons why he does some of the things he do.
I love grandma. She got some positive words to say. I wish she would follow in the footsteps, honestly, you know?
If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content.
If you did not want a jobless man stinking up your couch, you wouldn't have one. That's crazy.
Because I love you.
No, the love ain't got nothing to do with it. Bottom line is because the fact that if I don't want the job because I'm living with you, if you control everything, then what's my purpose of being here?
Leave! Mr. Jones, I'm just saying, you want to speak about your independence and not being controlled. Sir, when you start controlling your future, your employment, you have your own money, perhaps get your own place, then you can really speak about, you know what, I'm independent, I'm free, and you're not being controlled because of your own decisions to be your own man. But 2 months playing video games with kids all day long, that's not good, sir.
It's better than, not getting, I ain't getting what else I'm supposed to do. Like, when I was working, honestly, when I was working, she told me all I care about was helping pay bills or getting sex when I ain't getting none or doing something what I want. That's clear anger issues.
She has anger issues, Miss Crowe.
Too many anger issues. If you put anger with controlledness, how is that gonna help anyway?
Well, I'm just saying it's not helping that you are there and you don't have another place to go because you could leave, right?
I could leave, but
I think your situation is too good for you.
I'm gonna leave,
Who's your witness today?
Her grandmother.
Her grandmother's your witness?
Yeah, and my grandmother just loves him. But I trust my grandmother. She's my heart. Anyone who knows me, she's my whole heart. So I'll try to talk to her about, the issues I have with him. Because one thing I know my grandmother has never been a fan of is a man who don't work, But for some reason, she make excuses for him.
Wow. Ms. Janice Johnson, are you here with us today via Skype?
Yes, John, I'm here.
Ms. Johnson, how are you? Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Anna.
I would love to hear your perspective because your granddaughter, Ms. Crowe, by all accounts in this case, she's working, she has a roof over her head, she's providing for herself. She's talked about a lot of the issues she has with Mr. Jones. What do you have to say about it?
Well, first of all, I do love Yourick. Yourick is a young man that I see a lot of potential in. If I had a son, some of the potential that he has, I would like my son to have that same type of potential. He comes over and he helps me out in the yard. I have a huge yard. So, he's very mannerable around me and everything. And when he does work, to me, he works hard. He's a hardworking man. That's the only flaw that I see in him as far as understanding that when you have a job, you don't burn your bridges. You don't quit one job till you got another one to step into.
But that's not what he's done because the last 2 months, and I understand that you think he's a nice young man and very respectful to you. I think that's wonderful. But what do you think about the last 2 months? He hasn't been working and he's been playing video games with 12-year-olds every day.
Well, I'm not the fly on the wall, so I'm not there all the time. But I do know that a lot of the anger issues, like he said, Darielle does have. She needs to draw back on some of the nagging, some of the fussing, and this is maybe some of the reasons why he does some of the things he do.
He do nothing.
I just want to ask you, though, this directly. I would love to hear your response about him. The last 2 months, he quit his job. He has not been working, and he's made a choice to play video games. What is your response to that?
I don't really think that that's what he should do. He should be working, or he's at least constructively looking for work. But like I said, I still love him, and he's a good guy in my eyes.
Same.
Yeah, because I'm looking at some of the other relationships she's been in, and from 1 to 10, those were zeros. A couple of the relationships she had compared to Yourick.
Okay.
I love grandma.
So according to you, Miss Johnson, the bar was set very low prior to Mr. Jones coming in. Okay.
Yes, very low.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I love grandma. She got some positive words to say. I wish should follow in the footsteps, honestly, you know? Knowing the truth, you know, and seeing my potential.
Back to the street.
And for what I am, you know, maybe if you would listen.
Back to the street.
Instead of running your mouth and controlling everything, I mean, back to the streets wouldn't be an option for me.
I think you need to get another job. And you need to maintain employment and be consistent with your work.
On my own?
Yes, on your own. You're 27 years
Right.
old. Of course, on your own. I understand the two of you have had some issues in your household. You think she's controlling, you think she's nagging, you think she's angry. That's why I'm saying to you, put yourself in a position where you have your own home. So you're not living with someone who you think is all of those things.
Yes, ma'am.
You, Miss Crowe, you're a few years younger, but you're very ambitious. And you're independent. You're very self-aware of what you want to do, what you want for your future, and you're working towards it. I really think that you need to date someone who is on your level, your maturity level, and who is more ambitious with their career and what they want to do with their lives. Even if your grandmother is right that he has potential, you're dating the reality. And the reality is what it is. And because the bar has been set very low from your past relationships, it doesn't mean it needs to stay there.
I say that, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I say that all the time. When I stress to him about the things he says, the things he does, he loves to bring up the fact that he's better than my exes, you know, but I tell him all the time that just because it's better than what I had does not mean it's good enough. Like, my grandmother loves him. She thinks he's a great man, and I think he's a great man. We don't have infidelity issues. I trust him with my heart, but he doesn't care. He just...
I'm happy that your grandmother likes him, and I think that you and her grandmother should go and hang out and play cards, and you can mow her grass and cut her lawn and do all of those wonderful things and still have a great relationship. I'm talking about your level of compatibility at this point in your lives and what your standard for love is. Yeah. Your standard for love is, this is what I want in my life right now. I simply want a man I think is great, there's no infidelity, that he's not cheating on you, because we see a lot of that in here, but you want somebody who works. That's reasonable. That's understandable. You're 27 years old.
Right.
You should want that for yourself. So that's where you are. What is your standard for love? You decide what that standard is, and then you choose someone who meets that standard. And you don't lower your standards because someone else comes along who you love. Love is beautiful, but it does not pay the bills at the end of the day.
So I know that.
And the bills got to be paid. You got to eat. You got to have a place to live. And the struggle doesn't have to be part of it. I want to see how long you will last independently on your own, not working and playing video games with 12-year-olds. I think if she requires you to leave and go back to Ville Platte, I think you'll be working the next week. And the more you work, the more I think you will see how much you value your independence and being able to call the shots in your own home. Good luck to both of you.
I love him, but sometimes love isn't enough. Like he said, what does love have to do with it? So I'm going to take her advice. I wish you well. Like, maybe you and my grandma could kick it, you know, but this is over.
I accepted Judge Faith advice too. I'm not on her level. I mean, I know for a fact that I wouldn't want to be with her, not even in her level any longer, so